Cheers, I do, buckaroos. How the heck are you? I am down the beer and whiskey whisper at this particular moment. So this is my poured a little bit more of. I did a cut and action. I opened this beer and did a video just for the beer, but I poured a little bit more. Goodness gracious. Sometimes the brain works faster than my mouth, or the opposite. I'm not sure which. The single origin Imperial Stout. It is 10.5%. It uses single origin coffee, cacao or cocoa nibs, and vanilla, and use just a little bit of blueberry to accentuate the blueberry from the coffee notes. What I decided to pair this with, just taking a guess here, was a while back, it was into October actually, I was part of a tasting at Macadoodles here in town. They were choosing their barrel pick for there's Riegers that is finished in Laird's Applejack barrels. And what we ended up with was the 100 proof version. And again, it's a Rieger's Kansas City whiskey that is finished in Laird's Applejack barrels. So I thought maybe the combination of the two would work well together. So let's find out, shall we? Let's start with this beer using my snifters here. I've noticed the longer I've let this beer sit out and warm up, the more aromatic it becomes. So I'm going to say this beer really is one that you really should serve at about 55 to 60. I mean, don't necessarily be afraid to serve it a little bit colder or start it a little colder and let it warm up. But I'm going to tell you that it's going to come together. The flavors and the aromatics are going to be better the warmer it gets. What happens earlier when it was colder is the aromas are there. It is fragrant, but it is a little bit choppier. You know, you feel this, that, and the other thing. But here, as it's warmed, those flavors have come together. You get these great big coffee notes where that vanilla sort of surrounds all of it. The blueberry sort of lifts up the coffee. Oh, it's gorgeous. And the flavors are the same. Now that it's warmed some, it doesn't feel disjointed. All those flavors come together harmoniously. Now that I've had a night, I've checked the aromas, I checked the nose, I had a nice drink. Now we're gonna see how it works with this particular whiskey. And just so you know, I haven't paired these two together before. There was no warm-up video. I just thought, how about? Anyway. The nose on this whiskey is incredible too. So I had two office Christmas parties. One was for the entire office. Then I had a smaller one, which is just for the immediate office that I work out of. And the main party, I got I got a decanter that came with 6 glasses, and then for a smaller office party, I got whiskey stones that came with 2 glasses. So I made out like a freaking bandit this year. I can't tell you, man, it was freaking brilliant. But this is a glass. This size glass is perfect for drinking neat. Now, if you got a Glencairn you want to use, if you feel more comfortable with that, go for it. I don't necessarily think every whiskey needs a Glencairn, but there's nothing wrong with using one. Anytime I get a chance to take the pretentiousness out of whiskey drinking, I am going to do that. Being a working class guy, I am all in favor of leaving the pretentiousness out. So the Kansas City whiskey uses a little bit of Oloroso sherry, and you do feel a little bit of that in the nose. But because this was finished in the Applejack barrels, you really feel that hint of apple kind of playing with those other fruit notes that this whiskey has. You know, you get that little bit of plum. You might feel some date or fig. I personally get a lot of dark plum from this whiskey, as the regular version of, and then here with the Applejack, I feel like it really brings out those plum notes along with that apple as well. Almost feels like you get these candied fruitcake like notes, candied fruit, a nice dark cherry or other fruits that you might find in a fruitcake. You get those sugared fruit notes. gosh almighty, that's good. At 100 proof, I mean, this is one easy drinking whiskey, man. It is incredible. And it does work well with this Imperial Stout. The Stout is a little bit sweet, but the spice from the whiskey really works together with it. They complement each other. And I know I've said this 100 times, but yeah, I'm not looking for flavors that are exactly alike when I'm looking for a beer whiskey pairing. I'm looking for flavors and aromas that will complement each other, that will work well together, and I think these two work. I gotta say though, I am a great big fan of Rieger's and all of their products. I'm not even a gin drinker, and I like their gin. Their vodka's outstanding. There's two great distilleries out there in Kansas City, J. Rieger's and Tomstown. And I can't tell you which one I like better because I like them both for different reasons. The Kansas City whiskey is outstanding because it's a little bit different. But I also like, from Tomstown, I like their double oaked and their Pendergast Royal Gold because they're a little bolder. So it kind of depends on what flavors I'm looking for at that moment. But I wouldn't say one is better than the other. They're both outstanding. Mm. What the coffee does here is, I mean, you do feel the coffee flavors from the beginning to the end, but because it's such a great big 10.5% Imperial Stout, that coffee really helps at the end. You get that that very slight notion of coffee bitterness that really helps dry it all up. And at no time does this beer ever get too sweet or cloyingly sweet. It just works, man. Uh, oh, the Beer Whisperer had some rare time alone, so I thought I'd make the pub festive. In this particular case, the Beer Whisperer, Whiskey Whisperer pub is my living room. But hey, man, it is what you make of it, isn't it? My actual pub area is in the garage where I have my dad's old bar. But heck, sometimes I'm in the kitchen, sometimes I'm out at the patio, sometimes I'm in the living room. But here, for this particular application, it is kind of the main area of my pub. As long as my wife isn't here, it's my damn pub. Anyway, I digress. I love the aromas. I love the aromas of the regular 92 proof Rieger's Kansas City whiskey. But that addition, taking this up to 100 proof and finishing in those Applejack barrels takes it to a whole other level, man. And you have just enough spice right at the end that just helps balance all of that great big sweetness out. So there you go. Flavors, again, you do feel those Applejack notes. You really do. And on the regular whiskey, like I've said, you feel those dark plums. And what's interesting here is one doesn't knock out the other. The apple doesn't take out the other fruit flavors. They almost work together and bring each other up. I feel a nice amount of cinnamon in the finish. I also feel like I'm getting a hint of allspice as well, but that's probably just me. And I was right. I thought these two would work well together, and by golly, can be, Tom. Yeah, genius. Anyway. I'm a genius. Anyway, I'm a legend in my own mind. There you go. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to set that down. And we'll finish up this whiskey. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist. I didn't mention some aromas and flavors. I've done a video where I really, talk more, go into more detail. But doing these videos, I just want to have a general conversation. But I should mention that I didn't mention earlier is the oak. You do feel this nice toasted oak presence that runs all the way through it. I mentioned the spice and everything else, but I was negligent in not bringing up how the oak really brings it all together. I'm the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom, and Oh, that's good. I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, Brother Beer Drinker, Pervert Wisdom Man. And Merry Christmas to you all. If I don't have a chance to see some of you personally, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a nice Christmas season. I always say Merry Christmas, but I don't get my knickers in a twist if somebody wants to say Happy Holidays. It really just doesn't make any sense why people get upset about Happy Holidays. Nobody's trying to, take Christmas out, but there are other holidays being celebrated this time of year. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I don't know if it's Merry Festivus or Happy Festivus, whichever. But if somebody says Happy Holidays to you, be appreciative that they gave you a greeting and don't be a peckerwood. Anyway, I am Tom here Whisper, Beer Evangelist, Prolific Beer Drinker. Don't be a peckerwood. That is my advice for this season. Beer Evangelist, Prolific Beer Drinker, Pervert Wisdom Man. Oh, gosh, that's good. All around good guy. Cheers. Y'all have a good one. I mean it sincerely.